Ladies and gentlemen, if I were to tell you that the Federal Bureau of Investigation was investigating Trump's tweet activity, quote, tweet activity, what would that tell you? Why on earth would Andrew McCabe be investigating what's behind the FBI trying to determine what is behind POTUS tweets? What does that even mean? Does that make any sense to you? First of all, does any agency look at our current president, mashed potato brains, and investigate his social media communication? What does that mean? Because Trump's activity on Twitter was just so horrifying that government agencies actually had to investigate the words that he wrote on that platform? That makes no sense at all, and it's just another revelation from the Durham probe special counsel. So these are notes, actually, within the Sussman trial that will start on May 16th. So according to Law and Crime, the Sussman trial is starting on May 16th. So that's next week. Actually, Monday or Tuesday? So, you look, ladies and gentlemen, and Sussman trial is scheduled to begin on May 16th. According to the Washington Examiner, This revelation, Durham Sussman notes battle, pulls back curtain on Trump-era Federal Bureau of Investigation. This is a great article in the Washington Examiner. Great article. And Andrew McCabe, former deputy director of the FBI, and Michael Sussman met with the Bureau in September 2016 on behalf of a client, according to notes from March 2017 made public by the Democratic cybersecurity lawyer. So, who cares? What he's trying to say is that Andrew McCabe knew, but he texted James Baker, do you have any availability for a short meeting? I'm coming on my own, not behalf of a client or company. So what would it matter? Before we get to the fact that they're investigating Trump's Twitter activity, which is very bizarre, I will have a live stream tonight at around 9 p.m. Pacific, so be here for the live stream. We have amazing live streams. It'll be about the Durham probe special counsel. Of course, we'll talk about inflation, which was worse than expected, and we'll talk about that, a contracting GDP, fossil fuels, gas prices at record highs, there's baby formula shortage. My God. I mean, I'll take Trump's tweets. I'll take his social media presence, okay? So we won't have a shortage on formula and gas prices through the roof. I mean, these are the adults in charge. They get away with everything. It's unbelievable. Could you imagine if Trump presided over a formula shortage and record highs in gas prices? The media would be beyond apoplectic. And then the geopolitical nightmare in Europe is not ending. And apparently mashed potato brains and his administration have zero interest in ending it. But be here tonight for the live stream on this channel at around 9 p.m. Pacific. You will love it. We have the best live streams. Hit subscribe, by the way, to this channel. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel below. I will talk about inflation and the fact that the market is tanking like I said it would in October of 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I told everybody. Did I not tell everybody in October of 2021, if you are in the market, if you're about to retire, you have no business being in the market. I've been saying that since last October. I said if you cannot withstand a recession and the economy tanking, inflation, and most importantly, if you can't withstand 40, 50, 60, 70% losses or more, then get out of the market. If you're about to retire, then get out of the market. I said that in October of last year, and people are saying, HA, you helped save my retirement account. That's pretty amazing. Like, not that I did that or that I had an understanding of what was going to happen, but I'm humbled that there are actually people saying, hey, you saved me money, like, by warning everybody what was going to take place. Again, I'm not clairvoyant, but the writing was on the wall last October. But anyway, notes from show that McCabe talked at length about Trump's tweet activity. The notes said, quote, the FBI are trying to determine what is behind POTUS tweets. Why would the Federal Bureau of Investigation try to investigate what Trump was talking about on his social media platforms? He had defeated Clinton. He had every right to be in the Oval Office. The Steele dossier, Alpha Bank story, all created by his direct political rivals, the Clinton campaign, DNC. People like McCabe had taken money from Democrats and had to recuse themselves from the Clinton email probe. And by the way, I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. Or Clinton DeSantis 2024. But I want a Clinton Trump 2024. We're still living in 2016. We have to exorcise those demons. And unless we move beyond 2016, it's not going to be a good situation. But that's another story. So, when President Trump was talking about how his predecessor was engaged in surveillance of the Oval Office, they said, no, that's not true. Fact check. Dun 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 dun. Fact check. It's a fact check. And they lie by omission. Or they try to say that Trump is lying by omission, or that they just say he's blatantly lying. Because he was proven right about that. And a whole lot of other things. They were engaged in surveillance of Trump. And they were doing so through Michael Sussman's team of tech researchers and a tech executive. We know that in the Sussman indictment, that the executive office of the president was under surveillance. But my question is, well, a couple questions. The trial is going to begin next week. The big issue, ladies and gentlemen, is the following. Who cares if Sussman met with McCabe other than to show that McCabe was also a part of setting up and framing Trump? The Sussman defense is very bad for McCabe because Andrew McCabe he already lied 3 times under oath. The DOJ went to bat for him and, he got his pension back and all that. The issue here is that he lied 3 times under oath. He wasn't treated in the same manner that other people were treated. So there's 2 tiers of justice. He lied to Bureau investigators 3 times on 3 different occasions. He did so because he had self-serving purposes to do so. He had leaked information, Andrew McCabe, that James Comey said on record as saying that he might even testify in McCabe's trial if there was a trial, because he never told McCabe he could leak information about an investigation into the Clintons that they had no intention of actually following through with. So what they'll do is the Bureau investigated Terry McAuliffe, the man who gave McCabe money. The Bureau investigated the Clinton email server fiasco with top secret intelligence on private servers running outside of the United States government. They had no intention of actually indicting. That's why, I thought that I was on the left and so far, so naive that I was like, oh, okay, it's an independent agency. It's not, the Bureau is definitely not independent. They side with one political, party. And they might have sided with Republicans 20 years ago. They're siding with Democrats. Now it's overt. But McCabe met with Sussman, and Sussman is saying, well, he met with me, so therefore, Baker knew that he was coming on behalf of a client, which is hilarious because the whole trial revolves around one lie that Sussman told to James Baker, the FBI legal counsel. However, what Durham is doing, and nobody really gets it, is that he's laying the groundwork for more indictments under 18 U.S. Code 371. So now Sussman has thrown McCabe under the bus, saying, well, I met with the assistant director, and he knew that I was being paid by Clinton and the Democrats. So therefore, Baker knew. But all Baker has to say is, I didn't know. And just because Andrew McCabe apparently knew or allegedly knew that Sussman was going on behalf of was being paid by Madam Secretary and working for Democrats to funnel lies and deceitful statements into the U.S. government to get the government to investigate Trump. That has nothing to do with why Baker met McCabe in the first place, because Baker texted McCabe that he was not going there on behalf of anyone else. So you have one bureau official saying, according to Sussman. See, now McCabe, if he ever goes on the witness stand, has to actually get cross-examined. And this won't be I'm sorry, it's classified data. I'm sorry, it's classified data. It's like, no, you have to prove something in a court of law. And so, what these officials do, they'll say, sources and methods. We can't comment on an ongoing investigation as they investigate political rivals, saying, we can't comment. Imagine if you were engaged in criminal activity and your criminal activity was cloaked within, can't comment on that, I'm sorry. Yeah, robbing the bank, that's classified. Yeah. Robbing retirement accounts, that's sources and methods, sorry. Gosh. So that's what they did on the, and during these congressional hearings. You won't be able to do that on the witness stand. And Sussman, harmed, McCabe. The Sussman team is only care about defending Sussman, which is fine. I understand that. That's normal. But at the same time, they're throwing Andrew McCabe into this, who has his own problems with 18 U.S. Code 371, and I wrote about that in the Federalist. 18 U.S. Code 371, McCabe and Comey should be charged under those statutes. They set up and framed Trump. Everyone knows this. See, this is the funny thing. There's not a person who has looked at this and who understands what's going on that doesn't realize what they did. They even realize what they did. But they hide behind, we had no other choice because it was national security. Sorry, it's not national security to investigate the lies told to you by Trump's direct political rivals and pretend that you're saving the country from him. That's not national security. So, and then when Trump tweets out that he was under surveillance, and then the FBI then investigates his tweets, it all goes back to Sussman and the tech executive and the tech researchers, who apparently Andrew McCabe knew about. So anyway, it's very bizarre. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Be here tonight at around 9 p.m. Pacific for the live stream. Thanks, everybody. Huge live stream tonight. Huge.